the cats are screwing things up. Hold on. Shit. All right, hang on. Hey. Hello? All right. Okay. All right, hey guys. How you doing? It's Artie of Artie's Corporate Fiction. How you guys doing? Welcome. We are going to watch a couple of Sovereign Citizen videos today. Who knows if it's actually going to help my mood. It's been a stressful week so far, between giving my 2 weeks to giving to packing to figuring out all the stuff I need to do at work. So it's been a lot. It's a lot of stuff. But I'm glad to see you guys here. We get to watch some Sovereign Citizens while the cats mess around and being obnoxious. Hey, thank you, D-Man. Appreciate it. As you can see, I've already, begun packing up stuff over there. I got more to do. I need to get more boxes. I think I grossly underestimated how many boxes I really am going to need, but it is what it is. Okay. So. I copied the wrong thing. This is from OSG. There. YouTube sauce. There we go. All right. I'm not buying a cowboy hat. It's definitely not happening. Yeah, true. All right. This is from old squishy. Wow, oh my god, old squishy gardener. I don't think I've watched this judge before, so I'm curious to see how it works.
All right.
How it goes.
Good morning. I'm Judge Chungan. We are here.
Chungan.
People of the city of Taylor versus Randall Crane. Good morning. I see Mr. Crane up on screen.
Hi, Crane.
Sir, I believe you are muted. If you could unmute, please. There we go. Good morning, sir. Would you state your name, please?
For the record.
My name is Randall Timothy Crane.
Good morning, Mr. Crane. And on behalf of defendant, today we have, please.
James Kazicki. I'm the House Counsel. I spoke with Mr. Crane. We had a breakdown in communications. I don't believe I can go forward representing him. We do not support the same theory of law.
Mr. Crane, sir, you do have the right to have a court-appointed attorney. Do you wish to have a court-appointed attorney, or are you going to represent yourself at this time? You could change your mind later on, but at this stage, sir, are you representing yourself?
Sir, me and the House Counsel do not agree on a bunch of things.
I understand that. My question is, all you're here for today is I'm going to actually give you the formal arraignment and conduct a pretrial. All I'm wondering, sir, is are you going to represent yourself at this limited proceeding? That's all, sir.
I would like to have a assistance.
Oh God.
Okay. All right, but
yeah,
at this
all right.
time, we do not have other counsel. But what I am going to do is what we call an arraignment. All arraignment, sir, is just a formal reading of the charges that are lodged against you. That's all it is. And I explained that the rights that you have.
Well, I understand my rights.
Hold on just a minute, please. Hold on just a minute. I want to make sure I have the complete file. Mr. Guzicki, maybe you can offer a little assistance, sir. Okay, no, I've got it. So, for the record, Mr. Crane, you're here for an arraignment. As I explained, sir, arraignment is that initial stage of the criminal proceedings, or simply put, you're advised of the charges that are now formally lodged against you. I'm going to advise you of the rights that you have. You plead, after I'm done with that, then you plead guilty or not guilty. After that, sir, the next stage is something called a pre-trial conference. That's where you, if you're representing yourself, or you with your court-appointed attorney, you sit down with the prosecutor and discuss the merits of the case. Okay, sir. So in this matter, you are charged on the complaint of Taylor PD Officer Schillenberg, who states that on March 26th, while in the city of Taylor, that you obstructed the officer from performing his lawful duties, specifically with respect to the stop on where he claims he observed you operating electronic device. Now, a misdemeanor charge in the state of Michigan. It's a criminal offense. It subjects you potentially to be 0 days in jail up to 90 days. Fines could be 0 up to 500. You could be placed on probation also for a period of up to 2 years. Of course, you have the right to have an attorney to represent you. If you can't afford one, one could be appointed. Of course, you start out with the presumption of innocence. You close with that presumption all the way through, unless and until the jury finds out or a judge rules the other way. Now, of course, you have the right to have a trial. The trial could be heard by a jury or a judge. At trial, sir, you and your attorney have the right to cross-examine all of the prosecution's witnesses. You could bring in witnesses that would testify on your behalf, and you could testify or not testify as you see fit. If you choose to remain silent, it can never be held against you. For example, prosecutor could never tell the jury that, oh, you must be guilty because you didn't testify. We don't allow that, sir. The people have to prove you're guilty, your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, having heard that charge, how do you plead to the charge of obstructing the officer? All right, I'm going to note that the defendant stands mute. Has the same effect, sir, as you pleading not guilty. Now, sir, you are going to have I need you to write this down, please. You will have a pre-trial conference. So where you're going to meet with an attorney here in the court. Write this date down, July 16th at 9 a.m. It's an in-person pre-trial conference. Furthermore, sir, we're going to mail a notice of that date to the address that's listed on your ticket. Not going to state the address now because this could go out for further public consumption. Not going to do that. But note, sir, July 16th, 9 a.m. All right. And at this time, I'm going to release you on a personal bond. You don't have to post cash. That's your word that you're going to come back on the July 16th date at 9 a.m. All right, sir. Now, I also want to inform you, we have a couple of other charges. They're called civil infractions. One has to do with no proof of insurance and no registration. Sir, these
The
being
judges
civil
by the
infractions,
book, but
you
man.
can't be sent to jail for these. They're simply not criminal offenses. All right.
Right.
You'd be fined up to $100 on each of those, but you can't be sent to jail. Just for your information, they are accompanying charges. So again, sir, today, you've stood mute. I'm going to note you're requesting appointed counsel. I'm also noting for the record, you had spoken with Mr. Kazicki, and he's not able to represent you any further. And lastly, again, you're on a personal bond. That's your word that you're going to come back on that July 16th date. Understood, sir?
No, I do not understand.
Pardon
There
me,
you
sir?
go.
No, I do not understand.
Well, I'll explain it again. You come back
no,
on July
don't do it.
16th in court for a pretrial conference. You meet with the attorney who will meet with the prosecutor. That's when they discuss the merits of the case. And right now, I've released you on a personal bond. You don't have to come to the courthouse and post any money. It's your word that you're coming back on that date. I've notified you here on the record of the court date, and further, you'll be mailed a notice.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand that part, but what I don't understand is I don't understand the jurisdiction that the court has over me.
Sir, you're going to be able to discuss that at a later date. This was just to advise you of the charges formally
Okay.
lodged.
Well, I would also like to advise the court that every day that I am in court,
Oh no.
I require $1,400, and I will be charging the court $1,400.
Not gonna lie, $1,400 is far, far cheaper than other fee schedules I've seen from other SovCits. Most of the time, they're like $60,000 an hour
For my time.
Sir, you can do as you see fit on that count. I'm just apprising you of your court dates. And with that, you're free to leave the meeting, sir. Thank you.
Well, that was anticlimactic. But I mean, yeah, he's a SovCit, but that's all we got. Okay, we're gonna go back in time. Again, even before the cruise, I missed out on I still haven't caught up from other videos from before the cruise. I forgot about this one from Judge Boyd that I haven't seen before. I'm very curious to this one.
All right, and are you Mr. Beltran?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, in defense, you said you've adopted his motions?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so the first motion is a motion for a special appearance under the authority of Texas Rules of Civil Procedure 120A for the divine purpose of objecting to the de facto district court's abstract subject matter jurisdiction.
The de facto district court's abstract subject matter jurisdiction.
Non-ex parte third party waivers allowed. So let's address that motion.
Yes, Your Honor. My client's position is that.
I'm sorry. Hold on a second. If she's an actual attorney, I would not do this. I would not do this. I would just say, we have a conflict. We have a fundamental disagreement on the position or whatever the hell they say it. I almost forgot what the other guy. Irreconcilable differences. There you go. We have irreconcilable differences on the process, procedure, and strategy of the case, and I'm stepping away. I would never ever try to do this like on behalf of a SovCit. Never.
He has been that there is a defect in the abstract subject matter jurisdiction, that he has been brought into this improperly because the state would be the plaintiff. And they brought him in and are litigating that, and that there's a jurisdictional issue, that the court does not have in persona or subject matter jurisdiction.
All right, is there a response, Sate?
Judge, as a criminal district court, the court does have jurisdiction to preside over any matters. The defendant has been charged by indictment with the offense of aggravated robbery, and that occurred in Dare County, Texas, and so the court
Thanks,
retains
Sean.
jurisdiction over those proceedings.
All right, so Mr. Beltran, anytime that there is a criminal case that's deemed by the penal code to be a felony, then that comes to a felony criminal court. All right. And then the next question becomes whether or not a grand jury has been given evidence. You've been indicted, so they've been presented with information, right? And if it's alleged that the incident occurred in Bexar County and it's a felony, then I would have jurisdiction over the case. So if for some reason this was a case that is alleged to have happened in another county, let's say it's Hayes County or Harris County, then I wouldn't have any jurisdiction over it. Do you understand?
Mhm.
All right. So with this case, I'm not taking any of it to be true because I have to wait till evidence is presented to me. But looking on the face of the indictment, and I'm sure your attorney will tell you, an indictment is not evidence of guilt. It's just the means whereby a person is held over for trial, right? And so when a grand jury indicts a case, they're just saying there's enough evidence to hold you over for trial. They're not saying it's evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. And when information is taken to the grand jury or evidence, police reports or whatever it may be, and it has to be allegations that it happened in Bexar County, and it has to be allegations that it's a felony. Now, if this were not alleged to be a felony, then it wouldn't be in this court. Even though it would be a criminal case, it would be sent to a misdemeanor court maybe, or perhaps even a municipal court. But because aggravated robbery, according to the penal code, is a felony, it's supposed to be in a felony court. And then if they're saying it happened in Bexar County, then it would come to a felony district court, state district court that's in Bexar County. And that's where we are. You understand? Is there anything you not understand about my ruling on that? All right, thank you.
Okay.
And then we have, Yes.
Excuse me, did the court take judicial notice of the indictment in this case?
yes,
Make its ruling, okay.
yes.
And
The next we have new discovery of ex parte corpus trust fraud upon the court that conceals the facts that the charging instrument lacks subject matter controversy. No injury in fact exists.
What? Oh, what is that?
Your Honor, I believe what my client meant by that is just kind of coupled with the first paragraph, that the court his position was the court didn't have jurisdiction. The court just ruled that they did. That then the indictment would not be valid in this case. So I think that's what the client is trying to say.
All right,
Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay.
all right. So State, you want to address the issue and what and if I'm interpreting this incorrectly, let me know, okay? So you are saying that the offense, that there is no subject matter jurisdiction because there's no injury by any party?
Yeah.
All right, so if you can address that.
Your Honor, this case was presented to a grand jury that was duly impaneled. They indicted the case. They returned a true bill of indictment. The indictment does comply with the penal code and the code of criminal procedure, which governs in this case. And it does allege the requisite elements for the aggravated robbery. And so it's a threat by using a deadly weapon. And so that is the harm. The crime was committed against the peace and dignity of the state, and there is an alleged complainant.
All right, so Mr. Beltran, do you understand with the charge of an aggravated robbery case? Sometimes it's alleged that a person maybe pulled a knife on somebody and said, give me your money, right? I don't know any of the facts about your case. The only thing I can do is look at the indictment, right? And then sometimes it's alleged that somebody pointed a gun at somebody and said, give me your money. The way indictments work is if it is a crime in the penal code, and there's a list in the penal code of all the crimes, and aggravated robbery is one of those crimes that's listed in the penal code, and it sets out what the elements are of that. Now, you're saying that there was no injury in fact exists. The only thing the state has to do is prove the elements that are in the indictment, and the indictment has to show the offense that is in the penal code. You understand? So, do you understand? You gonna have any questions about the court's ruling? All right, if there's something you don't understand, let me know, all right? And I understand that sometimes when people have been to law school, like for example, I haven't really worked on cars. So there's a little stuff I can tell you about being a mechanic, but I really don't know the ins and out of every vehicle. You understand? All right, so number 3, defendant is erroneously charged with an abstract offense. C, I don't know, I can't read that word. Something taxation. District court is criminally attempting to receive an unauthorized, colorable, no fault immunity third-party benefit in violation of the 7th Amendment. All right, do you want to address that, counsel?
Yes, I believe my client, I think it just goes back to, being a third party brought in here without, abstract subject matter jurisdiction. And, the fact that he was brought into this case. I believe that's it. Is that it? Okay.
All right, State, do you want to respond?
Judge, reverting, I guess, the 7th Amendment applying in the case, or, okay.
Yes.
That is for civil suits. We are in a criminal court, and so I would argue that that does not apply here.
All right, so the 7th Amendment applies to jury trials that you're entitled to, and that is in federal civil cases. Here, you do have a right to a jury trial if you want a jury trial, and if you want a jury trial, I'm going to make sure that you have a jury trial, okay? And then the other issue, let me see. I don't understand when you say, explain it to me. You're saying district court is criminally attempting to receive an unauthorized, colorable, no fault immunity. What do you mean by that?
What the hell does that you mean?
Because what I can tell you is I don't receive anything related to these cases. Of course, as a judge, I'm paid a salary for the work that I do, but I don't receive.
Okay, I'm all right. I'm convinced this guy doesn't know what the hell he submitted, and he's just going with the flow, thinking that it's going to do something. Well, I should have figured that out like 5 minutes ago.
Any funding or extra funding based upon how I resolve cases. Do you understand? Do you have any question about that?
No, ma'am.
All right, so then the other one is dishonest services that rises to constitutional tort and national security concerns, communist activity detected in violation of Title 50 U.S.C.S. 841. This court now under federal questioning under Title 28 U.S.C. 1331. Light of new evidence investigation hypothetical claims. All right, defense.
I'm not sure what my client means by that. I'm going to ask him to explain it.
All right, if you could explain that to me, Mr. Beltran?
I guess what I'm trying to say there, Your Honor, is how the state of Texas claims it. And they're the ones that are pursuing and to prosecuting me,
Mm-hmm.
which is they're one of third party,
Okay,
and I'm not. I don't. Third party, I'm not sure how that works. I know
Okay.
how civil suits, and I know it's criminal law, but I know that. I mean, how can I cross-examine the state of Texas? How can I?
so let me
Oh, God.
explain something to you. Whenever you see cases on the criminal side, it's not individuals versus individual. Usually when you're on the civil side, if
You
it's
do
a
have
marriage,
individuals.
it's individual.
Yeah.
If it's civil. All right, here, the reason why it's the state of Texas is because in criminal court, it's not you versus the complainant. Whoever the complainant is in this case that you're accused of committing aggravated robbery against, yes, it's alleged to have happened that you committed an aggravated robbery against them. But the state of Texas, the way we were taught in law school, the state of Texas takes offense, right? Because whenever an offense is committed against a citizen, it's the offense against the citizen, but it's also the offense against the state of Texas. So,
Which represents the wider citizenry.
in cases such as these, the state necessarily is not the complainant. They're just bringing the suit or the case because the state of Texas is offended that an offense is alleged to have been committed.
And it's not about being allowed to cross-examine the other party. It's about being able to cross-examine the witnesses against you. So if you commit that armed robbery, the witness would be the victim of the robbery. Or if you committed a burglary and there's nobody to see it, the victim would be a witness would be for example, the store owner who probably has the security camera footage or whatnot that he's been victimized. So that's the whole
Within the state of Texas.
You guys know what I'm
within the
talking
county
about.
Of Bear. So that's why the state of Texas is listed and not the complainant. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand that. And so how do I cross-examine the state of Texas?
The state of Texas, you don't cross-examine them. The persons you would cross-examine would be any witnesses the state of Texas would call to try to prove that you've committed an offense against the sensibilities of the state of Texas. So, for example, for an aggravated robbery, they'll need to call somebody to prove that it happened in Bexar County. They'll need to call somebody to prove that it happened on or about whatever date it is. If there's a weapon used, they'll need to call somebody to prove that a weapon was used. And they may need to call a complainant to say, hey, I'm the person in your indictment. You
I
understand?
understand, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any questions or any confusion? All right.
May I ask my client a question before you go on to next? Are there any other things in here? Because some of it repeats itself. Were those the main points?
Other than anything.
Or is there anything else in your motion that are different that we need to bring to the court's attention that would be different?
All right. So then with regards to that motion that's combined from page 1 to page 6, then the ex parte relief requested will be denied. Now, by denying that, that doesn't mean that if there's a jury trial, your attorney still will not have the opportunity to question whatever witnesses the state calls, okay?
Understood.
So that will be denied.
There is it appears to me that there was like 3 separate documents stapled together. Is that the way it was received?
Yes.
There is the next one, which is exhausting administrative relief.
Mhm.
My client is not wanting to have that heard, right? It deals with ineffective assistance of counsel.
Mhm.
Right, Mr. Beltran, that's not to be heard right now?
All right,
Okay,
and let me explain something to you. I understand that's not to be heard right now, but what I can tell you is attorneys who are appointed to represent people, those are attorneys who are on the wheel for appointments, right? And if this is a first-degree felony, just from the face of what I'm looking at, and if Ms. Gay wasn't qualified according to the qualifications to be on the wheel for first-degree felonies, she would not have been appointed to represent you. Do you understand?
Understood.
And Ms. Gay, are you on the first-degree will?
yes, I am.
All right.
So the next document is entitled Court Constitutional Notice,
Mhm.
and that addresses antitrust violations, fraud upon the court, actions of the state bar.
All right. Do you want to take these one at a time, counsel?
I guess so, Your Honor.
All right, the first is new discovery of antitrust violation lies, fraud upon the court, elected state bar officials, seditious organization are conspiring to fraudulently conceal the ultimate fact, Sixth Amendment misconduct, that the State Bar of Texas lacks capacity to prosecute a natural person. It is an improper plaintiff. All right, so with that, I can tell you, the State Bar of Texas is not prosecuting you. The State Bar of Texas is more of an affiliation that attorneys are required to belong to. And we actually have to pay State Bar dues every year.
Yeah,
And
we
when
do.
that comes around every year, everybody's like, oh my gosh, State Bar dues.
Do you know?
Yeah, true. Yeah, and guess who has to pay triple? Because guess who has 3 bar licenses? Even if I'm not actively practicing in New York, I still have to pay New York dues. Same with New Jersey. The only thing I'm exempted from, if I'm not actively practicing, is from having to do is my CLE. I still gotta pay dues if I want to keep it active.
Yes. So the State Bar is not participating in this trial.
Per state.
Now, I can tell you as an attorney, your attorney as an attorney, and the state as an attorney, anyone who's licensed in Texas, they're required to be a member of the State Bar of Texas, and they have to pay dues to the State Bar of Texas. I think it's $265. It may have gone up. All right, so they're not going to be trying you.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right, the next one is State Bar's virtually gathered evidence, video, police reports, third party. Again, what I can tell you about that is the State Bar hasn't gathered any evidence. State.
I think I just put, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Yes.
I think I just put that as.
All right, so do you want that heard or no? All right, and then the next one is, so to permanently prevent a false State Bar, anything with regards to the State Bar, do you still want that heard or no? It says objects to Texas State Bar ex parte matter waivers and fictional double jeopardy defective jurisdiction.
What the hell does that even? I
you want
probably
that heard?
would know what it means if I actually
All
paid
right.
attention, but I'm
Defense.
already checked out from this video. I mean,
my client believes that-
and it's kind of bad because Judge Boyd is actually giving him the full breakdown of why his arguments are BS with the actual facts. They're talking about jurisdiction, talking about Texas as a complainant, talking about the so-called conflicts of interest. It's just we've heard it all before.
That, again, that the court does not have jurisdiction, that he is concerned about his waiver of his constitutional rights. Some of this deals with what happens at trial, like hearsay evidence being admissible, being admitted wrongfully, and that he still believes he's a third party, and that there's abstract jurisdiction, and that the court doesn't have the power, I'm guessing, to rule on evidentiary issues such as 901. And that, in other words,
She's
probable cause
powerless.
is third party fabricated, then secretly planted and dressed up to appear that it has merit, but it does not. So he is talking about one jurisdiction and also trying to state his right to object to evidence.
All right, State, do you want to address that?
Regarding this collection of evidence, I'm not sure.
Oh, no. So, let's address double jeopardy. Double jeopardy, defective jurisdiction. So double jeopardy, if you have not been previously tried for this same offense before, that's what double jeopardy is. Basically, in a nutshell, there are certain
Double jeopardy.
exceptions to that. But when you mention double jeopardy is you've been tried for something before and you were found not guilty, right? And now the state is trying to try you for the same thing, even though you were previously found not guilty of it. Or either you had something that was dismissed with prejudice and they're coming back and trying to try you for that same offense. Do you understand?
Are we watching an admiralty court? Because if this isn't an admiralty court, then he can't be tried. Well, considering the 187th district is in the middle of Bexar County in Texas, no, this is not an admiralty court.
State, has he been tried before for this same offense?
No, Judge, there has been no actions on the indictment or the indictments that are pending against him. And as far as I know, he's not been charged by any other jurisdiction regarding this.
And there has never been anything pre-indictment that was dismissed with prejudice with regards to these cases?
No, Judge.
All right. Does that address that issue for you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Then the next one, deceitful corporate veil and trumped up judiciary immunity is fatally pierced. I do not forfeit my privileges and immunities under the 4th and 14th Amendment. What I can tell you is during a jury trial, when the state calls their witnesses, your attorney will have a chance to cross-examine those witnesses. The rules of evidence do apply. If she finds that there is some question that is objectionable and should not be answered, then she will stand up, make an objection. Normally, the objections may be hearsay, entering the province of the jury, assuming facts not in evidence. It could be relevancy. It could be 404B. It could be any of a number of objections that she can make. Once she makes those objections, I will make a ruling, and my ruling will decide whether or not the witness can answer that question and whether or not the jury can consider it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, does that address that issue?
Yes, ma'am.
I think the other issues deal on the second page, deal with the state bar, and I think the courts address that.
Okay.
The other one is gross advertising negligence of the DA's office.
Okay.
And defendant being sued,
Oh, who's being sued?
the defendant.
All right. So, sir, there are different type of suits. There are civil suits.
You're not
So
being
technically, somebody can be
sued.
sued civilly for something. Sometimes with criminal cases, people will say, "Oh, it's a suit." Technically, it is sort of a suit, but it's again the state of Texas versus whoever the defendant is. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any questions about anything else?
Mm.
Okay. And then the next page, page 6, it has postscript. Is that something in there that needs to be addressed? I think it says here.
I'm done. I'm done,
It
y'all.
has to do with cross-examination,
I'm dying.
then
I think this
he
one's
say
gonna
the
be
plaintiff
this next one's gonna be
is
more
in
exciting, I think.
harmless artificial corporation. Are you talking about yourself or the state of Texas? Okay.
State of Texas Corporation.
All right. So whether or not it's a fishing expedition or corporate entrapment or a Ponzi scheme, that'll be something that will be decided during the jury trial, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, is there any other motion that needs to be heard?
Anything else?
No, ma'am.
Any other jurisdictional arguments that raised that we have not talked about and the judge has already ruled? Anything other than
No, Your Honor.
All right, is there anything that you don't understand about the jury trial process?
Mm.
All right, so I will still give you a choice. If you want a jury trial, you can have a jury trial. If you want a bench trial, if the state agrees to the bench trial, then we can have a bench trial. As I've told you before, if the state presents evidence that proves you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, that means each and every element, I'll find you guilty. If they don't, I'm going to find you not guilty. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so if you still want a jury trial, Norma, is he already scheduled for jury trial?
Okay, we're done. All right, moving on. All right, what's this?
Because you dealt with me in the past, that's why as soon as I called, you was instantly, oh, he a liar. I don't care nothing you got to say. And then when I respond out of feelings, out of hurt, out of embarrassment.
Out of feelings.
Court will call the case of the state of Michigan versus Lawrence Buckner, case number 25S00102.
Tiffany Woods for the
Lawrence.
people.
I'm Bug Defender Dr. Lee on behalf of Mr. Buckner. Mr. Buckner, could you state your name, sir?
Ronald.
Mr. Buckner, could you state your name, sir?
Lawrence Buckner.
And could you turn on your video, please?
Oh, hi.
All right, we're here for sentencing today.
Yes, Your Honor, I have reviewed the report and recommendation with Mr. Buckner. Your Honor, I don't believe we don't have any factual modifications to the report. I would like to provide them allocution. Shouldn't ask the court not to accept the recommendation.
Thank you. Ms. Woods?
One moment, Judge, I'm pulling up my notes right now. My computer is just a little slow.
Mr. Buckner, are you driving, sir?
No, ma'am. I'm not driving.
as you hear the turn signal in the background. Okay. Gaslighting right off the start.
Judge, I've also had an opportunity to review the PSIR recommendation, and I'd ask the court to follow the recommendation within that report. Thank you.
Mr. Buckner, why do I hear your blinker on, sir?
That's my hazard lights.
Your what?
It's hazard lights.
That's my hazard lights.
So then you're in a vehicle.
Those are my hazard lights.
We heard you.
Mr. Lebo, what would you like to say on behalf of your client, please?
First, I want to note that when I discussed this with Mr. Buckner yesterday, he told me that he understands that when he got upset, when he felt provoked by the officer, he should have kept his mouth shut and he shouldn't have made any kind of threatening statement, even if he felt disrespected. He did ask me to let the court know that he was at a gas station getting his tire fixed during the interview. He tells me that he was not driving. He also wants me to let the court know that he'll comply with any probationary sentence issued by the court. He did state to the probation he doesn't feel he would benefit from probation, but he did tell me when we spoke that he will comply fully with any probation conditions imposed by the court. So we would ask the court to consider imposing a fines and cost sentence or a period of probation rather than filing the recommendation for 30 days in jail.
Did he do a class? I was a little confused because it said in there he did the class. Did you do a class, Mr. Buckner?
No, I've been just going to my regular therapist. But what Mr. Lebo is saying, what he's talking about is the PSI and what I stated assertively. And, I think you'll be proud of me, Miss Rashid, because I didn't raise my voice. I didn't cuss and none of that crazy stuff I normally do. And it was 2 incidents that the probation reviewer person said to me. And I really don't want my words misconstrued. I don't want them taken out of context. He said, when he got first thing, he said, talk about the apology. And I told the probation officer, I said, if you was offended by a person, would it be more genuine for the person who offended you to apologize or for you to get a third party? Case in point, your sister stole some money from you and you feel she owes you an apology. You want to forgive her. You want to move forward in life, but she doesn't come forth. Your mother or another relative comes. Anybody that's a natural human will see that that is not genuine at all. The officer never felt anything wrong about the way he treated me until you pointed it out. So if you would have never pointed it out, there would have never been an attempt of an apology or anything. I'm a regular human being. I try to live on regular life principles. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Like I told the probation officer, I never, not one time, did not take accountability for any of my actions. I was trying to be very clear, direct, and assertive as possible in giving my reason as to why we here today. Even during the court proceedings, you reprimanded the officer, but the bad part about it is the officer don't get no charge. I get a charge. And like I told him, life is not fair, but I will accept anything. Even though in my heart I may not agree with it, I'm still going to accept and comply. That's what I told the probation officer. And by me saying that, that is not being defiant to the courts. It's not being defiant to anybody of authority. I just simply say, hey, I'm going to do whatever I got to do to stay free, even though I don't agree with it. That's exactly what that means. So for my words to be taken out of context, yes, I'm very, I feel very disrespected. I feel like it's a plot against me just to throw me in jail. 30 days in jail ain't going to do nothing. It's what will it benefit to remove me from my family for a phone call? What warrants that? I really would like for you, because the whole meeting was videotaped. I really would like for you to watch it, because if you watch it, you will see that I was assertive as well as respectful. I didn't disrespect nobody. I was very clear about everything that transpired during the situation. Do I feel messed up? Yes, because the officer that I made the statement towards is the same officer that's been arresting me since I was a teenager. So it is my belief, and notice I said it is my belief, that the moment the phone call came in, that officer didn't care about the threatening of the other officer. He's like, I finally got Lawrence Buckner, and I'm gonna go push this all the way up. And like I said, that's my belief. I just sat in jail for 30-some days for something that I didn't do. And like,
why am I getting nothing but sorry, I'm catching L's today with these live streams. I don't know what's going on.
Committing crime, getting caught red-handed versus somebody, constantly going to jail. And, this was all one big thing, because you have been my judge, named there for every case. I have lost my dogs. I've lost my business. I have lost my entire livelihood because of a woman telling a white lie, to where now I got to get transcripts from the courts so I can file a lawsuit, because I got put in jail for being black, being at the wrong place at the wrong time. And these officers are the same officers who have been arresting me since I was 15 years old, and then want to get in front of you and act like they don't know who I am, when the officer admitted in the court, yeah, I dealt with Mr. Buckner in the past. Because you dealt with me in the past, that's why as soon as I called, you was instantly, oh, he a liar. I don't care nothing you got to say. And then when I respond out of feelings, out of hurt, out of embarrassment, now I get a charge. Now I want to be put in jail for 30 days. So what does it really warrant? Like, I just lost my whole livelihood. They took all my dogs because of this. Everything.
Mr. Buckner, you're yelling again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm my bad. My bad. I apologize. Like, Nobody's taking into account of that. Nobody's saying, hey, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Okay. I didn't just get on the phone threatening nobody. I tried to be respectful. I tried to follow the chain of authority to report abuse of authority to his colleague. And what do I get? I get mistreated. I get disrespected. I didn't deserve that.
Okay.
And all he gets to do is get a reprimand and go about his life. He don't care about no apology. He don't. He didn't care until you pointed it out. And that's just like if you raising children and you say, go apologize to such and such. If you have to tell that child to do that over and over and over again, that child will never learn to give a genuine apology or be accountable on his own. I was greatly disrespected, me and my family. For what?
Okay.
And jail, and then the prosecutor want to just send me to jail. She don't even know my life. She don't know what I've been through. Everything is just jail, jail, jail. Jail is not always the answer. Jail is not the answer. How is jail the answer?
Maybe.
Can nobody in this courtroom explain why jail is the answer? If I was so much of a threat and anti-government, I'd be blowing up buildings. You see me blowing up buildings? You see me starting stuff? I'm not doing nothing. The same stuff I've been doing when I came home from prison in 2020. You know, and every time I tell the courts on record, on YouTube, every time I tell the courts that I have been maliciously persecuted by Washtenaw County sheriffs for not cooperating when I got shot, nobody believes me. Nobody cares. But all these magical cases come up on me. Places that shootouts happen and I wasn't even there. My GPS proves it, but I'm still in jail. Like, my mental is broke down. I have no more faith in the justice system. I am done. My life is in the last 6 months has went to crap. Okay, over a white lie. And in 2025, you would think that you could drive anywhere around the United States. But no, that ain't the case. I was instantly stigmatized as a drug dealer, pulling up and then passing out guns. Man, my life is ruined. I worked so hard to build my dog community up. I took my dogs to the old folks' home. So many people was affected by this. I took my dogs to schools. I took my dogs to help children. And now I'm so much of a threat to society to where I have to be remanded to Washtenaw County or suggested I be remanded for Washtenaw County. With nobody not even doing no type of investigation on my life. Like, I'm actually an asset to my community. I'm not a liability to my community. You put people in jail that's liability, that's not assets, that don't benefit, that don't bring nothing, that don't have no self-worth or not knowledge of their self-worth. People who have self-worth, people who making a constant effort, especially from the degrees of changes that I've made from my past, I'm doing remarkable. You know, and still and yet, like I still, for the life of me, cannot understand as to why I'm sitting in front of you. I swear I don't. You know, I try to sit about it every day. These are the same officers that pull me over every single day, every other week, harass me, and then get into court and act like nobody harassed me. Why would I call the police? I called the police on the police. So that means something had to happen to me. Something is constantly happening to me, constantly pulling me over, constantly sitting in front of my house, just harassing me, constantly coming to my house every day. Come on, come to court. Tell us she shot. We need you to testify. No, no, no. And then as soon as I keep telling them no, I get all these magical cases. Like, why won't they just leave me alone? Nobody will listen to me.
I'm sorry.
Nobody.
I have to pull Hassan.
I've been in jail for over almost 2 months for nothing. I can see if I actually did them crimes. So my whole religion, my spirituality is crushed. I don't know what to believe no more. I was a very religious person, a very spiritual person, but life done beat me down. It done beat me down. And everything I think about is what happened to my ancestors. It's relevant to me because I went to jail for being black. So yes, my mindset is different. My mindset is very different. I don't know. I don't trust Europeans because a European just tried to take away my life. A European came to court and lied on me when all these cameras proved I didn't do nothing.
Finally,
and I
something.
sat in jail. I was tortured. I was not allowed to practice my religion. None of this. I just missed my aunt's funeral. My aunt just died. She was the only person to ever write me in prison after my mama died. And I couldn't go to my aunt's funeral because of a tether, a GPS tether that Judge Simpson ordered to be taken off. When Judge Simpson ordered to be taken off the tether, they still left me on the tether. I couldn't even go to my aunt's funeral. I couldn't even do that, but nobody's talking about that. I had a court order to take it off, and I couldn't even go pay my respects. This woman, she didn't have much. She sent me money. She made sure I had a letter every week. Every week. You know, tell me I love you, even though it was just the words. But nobody's looking at that. Just send me.
So here's the thing that I've learned in my work experience, in my professional experience, is that you learn really fast that the strategy of letting somebody who's generally unhinged go on, thinking that eventually they'll peter out, usually doesn't work. These kinds of folks, they have the stamina to rant for days. And I learned that the hard way. That waiting for them to peter out just doesn't work.
Mr. Buckner to jail. Send him to jail. Jail ain't the answer.
We done?
Thank you, Mr. Buckner.
Okay, thank God.
So back to what I
Anyway.
asked initially. Did Mr. Buckner ever take a course? Because it says in the report on page 2, the defendant was instructed to complete an anger management course before sentencing. The defendant completed this course, but it appeared to have no impact. I don't remember asking him about taking a class. Is all of that incorrect in the report?
Your Honor.
It's incorrect, man. It's incorrect.
All right, Mr. Buckner, Mr. Buckner, thank you.
Please, I need to say this. The officers have been harassing me, and I really want to just make this on note that this is also evidence of what they're doing to me. And I don't know if something's gonna happen to me soon, but I want this on record. You know, I don't trust the police. I think they're trying to kill me. I think that one of the police officers involved in my shooting, nobody will listen to me. And I need some help. I need some help. I fear for my life. Every day I fear for my life. Nobody will help me. Nobody will help me. And I want this on video in case something happened to me.
Thank you, Mr. Buckner.
No, I don't.
Mr. Pappenhagen.
That's my apologies. I mistaken. That was a mental error on my end.
I'm striking all of that from the report. Anything from anyone else before I proceed with sentencing?
Nothing from the people, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Yeah, I'm moving pretty fast.
The defendant is to complete the ABR anger management course and pay fines and court costs in this case for a total of $275. I'm going to see him back here in 90 days on September 23rd, 2025 at 10 o'clock a.m. 180 days in the Washtenaw County Jail, credit for 11 days. The balance is suspended, so he doesn't have to do any additional jail time. If he pays his fines and costs, completes the class, and tells me what he learns from the class.
Okay. So all we got was just this dude's unhinged rant. Hooray. Okay, this one I know. I already watched it, so I already pre-watched. This one I know is a lot more exciting, but I haven't posted it on this channel. We got ourselves a wannabe First Amendment auditor who goes... He's basically at 100 right when the body cam footage starts.
An aggressive male approaches a patrolling officer parked in their squad car. What happens next turns into a complete nightmare for officers.
You have an issue? Do you have an issue, sir?
An issue?
Hey, you better back up from me.
You can back the f up. What's your reasonable articulable suspicion of some shit? You better recognize your
What are you even talking about, dude?
What the fuck you talking about,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So don't be looking at somebody.
If you want to approach me,
do what?
You want to approach me?
And what? And what are you gonna do?
You had a rumor with us.
Shut the fuck up.
Approach me,
You
gonna walk away?
Shut the fuck.
Okay, spit on the ground. What's that supposed to do?
Yeah, what are you gonna fucking do?
I am not doing anything. I'm standing here. What's your problem, bro? Okay, go inside.
You're dismissed. Get your ass back.
I'm not dismissed. I could actually cite you for walking across the street, not on a crosswalk, if you want to.
I mean, she could, but...
have an issue.
Easement. You need an easement for that. That's an easement over there. This is a setting
You're
here.
done. Hey, no, you're now detained.
Okay,
Stop.
what's your reasonable articulable
You just
suspicion?
walked across the street.
Then
not
ticket
in
me.
a
It's a ticket.
area.
Hey, whoa. Record
I
this.
need your
Record this.
ID.
Record this. Come here.
I need your ID.
Bullshit. Stroke it. Arrest
I
me.
do.
Arrest me. Come on. Let's do it.
I do.
Here,
I
come here.
need your ID. You're not
Come
going
get this
anywhere.
camera. Get this camera.
Stop. Stop.
Hey, excuse me. I'm giving
Stop.
you. Look at her
Give it
fucking
to her.
touching me.
I don't care.
Kiss my ass.
You're not going anywhere.
Body camera
till I
on.
get-
So, I'm trying to remember. Oh gosh, was it in the comments? I think somebody in the comments said that, or maybe it was later on in the video, that there was a call. I can't remember if there was a call that they had at that neighborhood, not specifically with that person, but at that neighborhood, and that's why she was there. I'm not sure if that's in the video talked about in the video. The thing is, like, the guy starts out at 100. It was a stolen. He thought I think it was a stolen car. I mean, could she have brushed it off? Maybe, sure. But the guy was the lady officer was dealing with someone across the street for this guy. Okay, maybe that was the case. But this guy was highly aggressive. And even he wouldn't disengage. So, yeah, if you're gonna keep acting like that, the officer's gonna find a reason to cite you for something.
Sir?
You can arrest me. Arrest me.
Okay.
Arrest me.
I'm telling you, I need your ID.
What's your reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime that committed? You need an easement. You need an easement to do that. Let's do it.
Bro,
Let's do it.
I
want a lawsuit. I want a lawsuit.
I need your
I
ID.
want a lawsuit.
I need your ID.
You're not gonna get it.
You just
You're not gonna
approached
fucking get
aggressive.
it. You're not gonna
You're
get it.
doing
You're
too
not gonna
much, sir.
fucking get it. So you can fuck off. Come and do it.
Madam, I'm okay. He's just
No. I want the lawsuit.
Oh.
I want the lawsuit.
What you need to do is provide your ID.
I'm not gonna get it. I'm
You're
not
gonna
gonna get it. You're not gonna get it. You need a reasonable articulable suspicion.
You can't just
I
walk
want
in the
that.
middle of
Yes,
the
I do.
street.
Yes, I can. A public easement, you dumb cunt. Those two white lines. You need to have those two white lines to fucking cross, you dumb
can't
fuck.
just walk in the middle of the street.
You can walk here. There's no obstruction. Hey, can you?
I don't think it. Pretty sure he's wrong. I mean, I don't think you need a double white line in order to get hooked up cited for jaywalking.
And make sure that, like, you see the cars, that there's no cars coming or anything like that. Because I want to take your ass to fucking court.
Take me to court.
Then do
me
something
cunt,
then.
but I don't see
You
her around
got
here.
15 minutes.
Okay.
Start recording the time
Stop.
that she's holding me under. You got 15 minutes.
Okay.
See, that's a classic First Amendment trope about this whole 15 minutes thing. They probably got it from, I'm pretty sure they got it from like some case law. But when the time period of when a detention becomes an arrest, it's going to depend on the circumstances. There's never going to be a hardline rule in place for something like that.
I don't see a here. So I don't know who you're talking to, but you're not going to approach my car.
I'm going to approach you however the I want to.
Break the law.
I can break the law because there's no law that says that there's no.
All right.
Yeah. So you can arrest me because there's no.
Good try.
And it's not even a arrestable offense because it's a ticket offense. So try something.
Yes. Jaywalking is a citation. Refusing to provide your information so that she can give you the citation, that's usually a criminal offense.
You're making it into a arrestable offense by not producing your identification.
Hey, come on.
That's called obstructing.
Come on.
Yes.
Yeah, come on then. You got 15 minutes. Count it up. 15 minutes, you guys. 15 minutes. Tell this either. No. This is either gonna let me go or you guys.
Okay, seriously. Again, aggressively walking towards another officer is not going to help your situation, but all right.
You guys gonna arrest me right now. Come on. She says we're walking in the street. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Stand over here.
No, I'm not gonna stand. I'm not gonna stand. No, you can arrest me. You can arrest me. Arrest me. Okay, there it goes, you guys. Arrest me.
You're being detained.
No. It's arrestable. You're arresting me. It's arrest. No, it's arresting.
Well, right now, it's potentially being detained and probably going to give him one last chance to provide his information. But yes, you can be handcuffed while still being detained.
You're not going to get who I am.
K9, doggo.
Why are they arresting?
They said because of crossing the street. There's no public easement. There's no public easement. No, there's no public easement. It's a reasonable article of suspicion. I can talk wherever the I want. Let's get the lawsuit going. Let's go. I'm going in the car. I'm going in the car. You're going to arrest me. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to jail. We're going to jail. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, we are. I'm going to sue the fuck out of you. I'm trying to get into the squad car.
Move. Doggo subtitles.
I'm trying to get in the squad car. We don't. I'm trying to get. Okay, fine. Stop. Okay, well.
Hey, what are you doing?
Hey, you guys, look how she's. Look at. I'm trying to get in the fucking front of the car, like she said.
So I don't know why he thinks that he's like doing everybody a favor by trying to forcibly put himself into the squad car. It's really stupid. Again, I mean, I don't know if he's just unhinged or if he really is thinking that he's going to get a payday from all this.
You guys are pulling the car. Now you're under arrest. You just kicked me.
I didn't kick you.
If you don't stop, you're gonna go to the fucking ground. Stop.
Bitch has a fucking right.
Whoa! 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 Chill! Isms! Damn!
If you don't stop, you're gonna go to the fucking ground. Stop.
Bitch has a fucking right. Oh, no, okay. Get on the sidewalk or you're going to jail.
Mom, come here.
Get on the sidewalk or you're going to jail.
Lock up my car door.
You are obstructing. You can record from there.
Obstructing's a physical act.
No, it doesn't necessarily have to be, depending on the jurisdiction. I did know in one court case or one local trial in Jersey, the judge said it had to be. I don't know if that's actually the genuine case in New Jersey. I just know that I did see one First Amendment auditor get out of an obstruction charge based on the judge's interpretation.
You can record from over there where it feels safe.
Hey, look at how they have their hands on me.
Cooperate.
I don't need to cooperate because you guys just did it under a false arrest. Under false arrest.
Dude, just stop tensing up. Just relax.
I'm not tensing up. I'm not tensing up. Don't worry, I got it all on camera. We're gonna see the shit out of them.
You got everything on camera too.
Penny, over here.
Penny.
Yeah, no. Did you see what she said? She said I hit her.
But she
Let's put it on the report. I went like this. I'm going like this. Hey, record it. I'm going like this, you guys. I'm not kicking. I'm just trying to move my foot. I'm trying to move it. Hey, get the recordings. Get the recordings, you guys. Stop tensing up. I'm not tensing up. I'm not tensing up. I'm not tensing up. That's why my wrist is completely inside of you right now. I'm not tensing up. I'm not tensing up. Spread your fucking feet.
You know what? You're going to go on the ground and get searched in a minute.
We're going to do that now. Get on the ground.
All right, get on the ground.
Don't put your knee on his neck.
Is my knee on his neck? What'd you fucking do? It's right on his back. Thank you.
The knee is on his back. That's what we have body cams for.
He's right on his back.
How many have you killed?
Right on the back. Hey, you guys, can you get
I can shake whatever I
She wants to shake her head. She's saying she can do whatever.
And then more isms, because Jesus. First calling the black officer the N-word, and now just saying the white. You guys, you know what? Family or racist? Why not?
No, let it happen. No.
Oh yeah, I also like to put on the record. I don't even know this dude's ethnicity. Like he could be Mexican, he could be Latino, he could be Native American for all I know. Either way, I like to point out that yeah, you don't have to be white to be racist.
We're crossing the street. We're crossing the street, you guys.
I mean, I shouldn't have to point that out, but sometimes modern society forces me to.
We're crossing the street. We're crossing the street. Hey, Mom. Hey, everybody.
Oh, this
Let
is
me talk.
bigger than crossing the street, sir.
Hey, she's trying to cover it up, you guys. Open up.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, record.
Keep your head away from my office. That is a
All right.
You
trying to fight him? What are you doing? Oh, he just said I tried to fight him. Hey, you guys can't record it. Yep, film it out.
Watch your head when you get in.
Step all the way to your back. Yeah, kiss my ass.
Get to the back.
You. I'm not getting in the back. I'm not getting in the back. Shut the f up. Those are my lawsuit.
I don't even really know what she stopped him for, but then he kicked her like right in the leg. So it's like, all right, now you're under arrest, dude. You brought this upon yourself. There was a report of somebody with a gun and they ran back to this house. Yep. So
Okay, so here it is.
I know what she stopped him for, but then he kicked her like right in the leg. So it's like, all right, now you're under arrest, dude. You brought this upon yourself. There was a report of somebody with a gun and they ran back to this house. Yep. So we pulled up to this house and it was the same shit, dude.
Yeah. What is it you need? Let's relocate. Hey, she's gonna cross the street. And I'm right here. I'm crossing the street. Ma'am, cut it out. Cut it out. Let's relocate it. Yeah, relocate. Watch. She's the first one to take off. Why are you the first one to take off, bitch?
Let's fucking get going.
Hey, let's just relocate so they can go in their house and calm down.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Yeah.
You're gonna really take your time writing up a thing? That's torture.
That's not torture.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Nope.
I'm tripping all up in here. I'm standing up, lady. And you're driving stupid. Oh. To ladies and gentlemen, to the courtroom and jurors. As you can see, I'm wearing Adidas pants.
Why?
They have only 2 pockets.
Okay.
And a waistband setting here. Nothing in the front. Nothing in behind. Officers arrested me for crossing the street. Then, when they illegally detained me, they accused me of hitting an officer. This is malice and with deprivation of my rights. These officers all came out, arrested me, and now I'm being put to the county jail. I'm in behind. They said I was resisting and doing other things, hitting an officer, but the original charges were what? These officers here need to be taken out from the department.
Tooken.
And never to be officers again. They need
Never to be officers again.
to lose their qualified immunity. They need to lose everything that they have going for them in this kind of business. Because them doing this to a citizen, they did nothing wrong, and then a cop gets hurt because her feelings were hurt, thinking that she can arrest somebody. She's a loose cannon. She needs to go.
She's the loose cannon. Guys, she's the one who's a loose cannon.
She is one of these cops that for some reason think that, you know, whatever they say goes. And one of the officers stuck his finger near my anus. What was that for? I don't understand why he would do that.
What?
He told me, quit tensing up. He's pinching my, this mark right here on my elbow. I hope I can get it on camera. He is cutting me on purpose and telling me not to tense up. And I want to know exactly what's going to happen with that. Yeah, give me a second. So I want to just show that
Everything's
this is
still
how
body
it was
cams.
at. What?
We still have body cams. I'm still recording.
Yeah, I'm going to get it on play for this. And just so you could see, right there.
Right this way, sir.
The original officer was patrolling the area due to a recent recovery of a stolen vehicle and a battery linked to the home of the suspect. The officer then observed a gray Nissan with an expired license plate pull into the driveway of the home. The driver then got out of the vehicle and began yelling at the officer, spitting on the street and approaching the squad car, which prompted the officer to initiate her body-worn camera and the rest of the events to unfold. The suspect was charged with resisting or interfering with officers, walking on a roadway, and operating a vehicle with an expired registration. He is innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
It seems like everyone wants to be a lawyer or a cop, but doesn't want to get the appropriate training or schooling. And it definitely shows in this footage, and what we saw here was all about ego. Because let's face it, anyone can grab a camera, aim it at a police officer, and try to antagonize them and hope they can get something. And that's because they want to get
That's literally the MO of every First Amendment auditor in existence.
a lawsuit. Because it's predictable, and I've seen it often. Because if you want to hate cops, that's fine, but do it from a distance, because this guy was flat out disrespectful, and let's call it what it is. It was a temper tantrum. And here's the truth. You can film all you want, and you can also disagree with police. But when you cross into obstruction, you can be arrested, and it doesn't have to be physical. And one of the females actually approaches the officers while they're still dealing with this guy. An obstruction can be refusing to exit a vehicle during a traffic stop, giving false information, and also filming the police. And while citizens do have the right to record police in public spaces, standing too close or interfering physically with officers while recording may be considered obstruction. And you can get up to 364 days in jail, a maximum fine of $2,500, court supervision, probation, or a conditional discharge. And it can also bring you a permanent criminal record, and it is a misdemeanor. Now, in my opinion, this guy and this whole group has some serious issues, plain and simple. And everyone has the right to question police protocol, and you can even peacefully protest the police. But no one has the right to interfere with an officer just doing their job. Because when your personal dislike for authority becomes a distraction or a disruption, you're not standing up for justice, you're just in the way. It will cause you to get arrested, and you're going to get a court date. And truthfully, society cannot function if everyone wants to challenge authority at every turn just because they don't like it. And I have learned sometimes that the loudest voices are simply trying to drown out the truth. And sadly, this has become normal behavior now. No matter how loud you get, no matter how many insults you throw, the law simply does not bend to your ego.
True and based. Thank you, Officer John. Wait, which one was it? Was it going to be this one? This woman goes nuts after getting fired. This will be the last one.
So what's it all about?
He told me to wipe off a button and clear our screen.
Okay.
And then he want to write me up.
And we are at Popeyes. Are we at Popeyes?
Does she currently work here?
No, she does not. The whole almost year I've been working here, ain't nobody ever did that. So why everybody out in B have to do that?
You fired her today?
First it was first
You just wanted her to leave?
Then it was
Is she allowed to come back?
her name was Trish.
So how did we get from?
He picked it. First it was an old lady that worked here. Her name was Jill. Then it was another girl who worked here. Her name was Trish.
Okay.
Then it was another dude who
Yes,
worked there.
I'm sorry,
and they
Warren.
paid me.
I haven't seen it yet.
It was my sister Aubrey, and
Please
that
give
was
us some
not me.
context.
Nice.
I ain't know.
So how did we get from him asking you to do something, you getting upset, to now them claiming that you're making threats and we come
Didn't
here?
nobody threaten him.
You never threatened anybody or nothing?
No, didn't threaten him.
They said they terminated her today and she needs to leave the property and not come back.
I'll leave the property as soon as my dad get here.
Do you have a car here?
No.
Okay, well, we can step outside, though. You can go out this way or you can go out this way, whichever your dad said was going to pick you up.
We can go wait somewhere.
Don't know.
What's your name?
None of your business?
It is, okay.
Because he didn't have to call the police.
Okay, he did. What's your name?
No, he didn't. No, you don't.
Stop.
Don't put your hands on me!
Oh, okay. I mean, I feel like I'd like to believe that the manager, I'm going to assume it's a rebuttable presumption that the manager tried a lot to get her to leave the premises before ultimately calling the cops. I'm going to make that rebuttable presumption.
What's your name?
None of your business?
It is, okay.
Because he didn't have to call the police.
Okay, he did. What's your name?
No, he didn't. No, you don't.
Stop.
Don't put your hands on me! Let me go!
You're making this a much bigger deal than
Let
it
me
needs
go!
to be. Just
Let me go!
settle down. Don't.
Let me go, and I will go outside away from my dad. No, let me go.
I need your ID.
Okay, you're
Okay, now you're going to jail.
Yeah.
Now you're going to
Stop it.
stop. Stop.
Stop. And it won't hurt.
Freak the fuck out. Let me go, bro.
Stop resisting. You're under arrest.
Bro, let me go! Oh my fucking god. Fucking ass bitch.
Got it. I don't think that was necessary to you.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well.
Can you let me go? You're
No.
Relax. They can get the handcuffs on you, then that's it. Then we're gonna let go. Relax.
I need my phone.
We'll get your stuff.
I need to call my dad.
Okay, well,
Can you stop? You're hurting my damn arm.
please let go of your bag. Thank you. I'll get your phone.
Bro, this one is too tight.
Stop. We can't do anything while you're still fighting us.
Oh my god.
And we are not going to let you go. You are under arrest.
Can you guys untighten it?
It's actually loose, though.
No, this one is not.
Okay, stop pulling on it, and it's not going to be so
Can
tight.
I get my phone?
I'll get your phone.
No, I need to call my dad.
Okay, you want to call your dad,
No, I need
and if
to call
he's
my
already
dad.
on the way, we'll explain it when he gets here.
No, please.
Okay.
My phone is on.
We'll get it.
I'm gonna get your phone again.
Oh my god, bro.
Just
Can you let me go?
1152.
search real quick. Anything in your pockets at all?
No.
The van report turned into this. Is your ID in your bag, ma'am?
No, I don't have it on me.
Okay.
Have a seat. We're going to get some information from you.
Oh, I don't need to sit down.
You have to sit. You lost that option 2 minutes ago. Sit down. Take a minute.
I can't
Sit down.
sit down. He
You
does
have
this
to.
with everybody. That's what y'all don't understand.
We will get it figured out. But right here, you need to sit down. You are under arrest. Don't make me drag you into the car. Thank you.
The father is on his way and will show up any minute to add more chaos to this situation.
Oh, God.
Oh my god.
What is your last name?
I'm not telling you guys nothing until my dad here.
How old are you? How old are you? So we can just take you down to the jail, and then if they find out you're a juvenile, then we take you all the way to juvenile.
Not a juvenile.
Okay, so how old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay, what's your last name? Okay, then we'll just take you down to the jail, they'll fingerprint you, and you will stay in jail until
It'll be a Jane
you
Doe.
give your name or your fingerprints come back in a few days. Why are you being so difficult with us?
Because you guys are being difficult with me. You guys don't even want to hear my side of the story.
First of all, this is your side of the story. My officer asked you, and then all they wanted you to do was leave and not come back. You did not want to get up and leave. This is a business. They have a right to have someone not on the property. There's other people in there eating and trying to order, and you're yelling. We just wanted you to step
Okay, but you guys don't know the half of Popeyes.
You're right, I know.
And if you guys did, then you guys probably wouldn't be arresting me.
No, we're arresting you because you were pulling away and going.
No, I wasn't pulling away.
You 100% were. And we have it on video, so it's fine.
Okay.
And you have to give your name because there's a report that you're not allowed back here.
Okay. You guys didn't have no reason to put your hands on me. I freaked out the way I did because you guys put your hands on me. That's why.
Do you think if you would have got up and walked out like we asked you to, this would have been happening?
I didn't have to get up and walk out.
Yes, you do. They asked you to leave.
Okay, and I would have got up and walked out. You guys had to pressure me.
We literally said.
We had to pressure you because you weren't leaving.
You have to leave and wait for you outside for your dad.
Okay.
What's your last name? First name?
Haley.
Dad was on his way.
Yep.
How long before you think he gets here?
I don't know. He was at work.
Okay.
That's Matthews, Capital 423, 1978.
She was. She just got terminated today. Now welcome back on the property.
Gary. I talked to the complainant. He doesn't want any, he just wants her banned from here. Nothing else. Have you ever been arrested before?
Like when I was like 12.
Oh, what was that for?
Running away.
Oh, okay. But since you've been an adult, never arrested for anything?
Well, let that one slide.
So criminal trespass and resisting?
Yeah.
The threat was, I'm going to call my dad, he's going to come here and take care of you. That's still when the threat was made. So he doesn't want anything pursued on that. He wants a ban. I didn't get into the criminal trespassing component of it, because normally it's okay, you need to leave. And
He told her to leave, but then she didn't, and then she got up to leave, but she wouldn't give her name or ID, so that's when we grabbed her and stopped her. So she was technically walking out. I'm assuming this is Dad here behind you. Hello.
Hello, guys. What's going on up here?
This cuff was hurting my wrist.
Okay.
Like I had staples on it before, and it's not healed all the way.
You had staples on what?
On this one.
Okay.
I got a phone call that her manager or something kept getting into her face.
She
And
was
she told the manager that she was going to call her f***ing dad. And that's when he said he was calling the cops and took it as a threat. Okay, but he doesn't have no right. He doesn't need to be up in her face.
Okay, well, and that's what she's saying. This is actually both their stories. Is she was told because they had no customers to clean,
okay,
and she said no. He said, we talked about this. There's nobody here.
They've been having
You're
problems
cleaning.
with this guy for the last 3 weeks.
So they said, okay, you're terminated, and we want her to leave. She said, you have to leave. She said, no, I'm not leaving. So,
not that I have that much experience, but I would assume that if they're in a slow period, cleaning would generally be the thing that you do, right? Whatever.
you have to leave.
I never worked in fast food.
They don't want you here. And we need your information. You're not welcome back. She refused to get the information, and then she started fighting my officers.
Like I said, if you stay like that, it won't put more pressure on your wrists and it shouldn't be so bad.
That's where we're at.
Should I talk to her?
Okay.
Look, when I worked at a grocery store, I would occasionally have cleaning duty. It wasn't something I always did, but it was part of your duties.
You got it? He'll put the window down a little bit so you can talk.
What happened?
He told me to clean him, and I took the no.
Calm down.
Then they want to break me up and slam me up against the glass and the police.
Okay. Haley, stop. Did they ask you your name? Why didn't you just tell them your name?
I told him my name.
Who's the manager that keeps getting in your face?
Jesse.
His name is Jesse? So how did it happen? What happened? What did he do? Ask you to clean?
He want to get smart and talk about something. You can grab a rag and grab the soap and you can clean this off.
Well, why are you fighting with the officers?
I wasn't fighting with them.
Why's your neck all red?
Because they slammed me up against the glass.
Don't fight, don't argue with them, please. They had more charges against you lately. We'll take care of this. Don't worry about it.
All right, so because obviously you heard what we're calling for, and she's 18. We're telling you this as a courtesy. You understand that? I understand. She's being charged with obstructing ID and then resisting. Okay, so she's going to go to jail for that. You'll be able to go down there and post bond, or she can post bond if she's got cash on her person or something like that. It's up to her. You want to take her belongings? You want to give your stuff to him as far as whatever else, so that way his left stuff you can take down there? Okay. So is it still over here?
Yeah.
What did you say his name was?
Jesse.
Okay.
You're not going inside right now, are you? Let's not do that.
I just want 1 second.
Let's not do that.
No, don't do that.
Wait till you guys leave, dude.
No,
Okay.
don't.
You don't need to go too for some stupid shit. Man.
I understand.
You guys don't understand this guy. We've dealt with both my daughters now for the last month. He wants to act like he's Tough, well, act like he's tough.
Is that the right to go or get a hold of his boss? You know what I mean? I'd get a hold of his boss, let him know the issues.
Oh, he's a district manager, so he's pretty high up the ladder.
Well, there's people out of him.
All that's going to end up happening under the current
I know, I'll go to
situation
jail. I understand.
And we don't really want that either, because then you do no good for anybody at that point.
So, there's different ways to approach it. Let's pick one of those different ways today, because this is enough for you guys to deal with for today, right? Agreed?
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. I appreciate that.
The weed?
She had money on her or
The
something
weed?
like that.
I'll take the weed.
You want to destroy the weed or we want to do the weed?
Give it to me.
There's two baggies.
I mean, it's not against the law, right?
Well, yeah, it's got to be in an approved container. I mean, you're not at
I
home.
understand.
So, just destroy it later? What do you want to do?
I don't need to deal with it.
I'll take it.
All right, we're going to switch some handcuffs on me, okay? You want to step on out?
And you said your one hand you had what, stitches in it from how long ago?
Like 2 months ago.
It's all healed up and stuff now though, right?
Sir,
No,
could you just do me a favor and just being that close to me? I understand. Hey, listen, okay? I don't know what your intent is, okay? I don't need you right on my back.
Okay. But he politely asked you to step back. So he doesn't need to calm down. He asked you politely, correct? He just did not want you that close.
I told you this is a courtesy that you're even being involved in this because he's 18. Who's
right there?
Yeah.
All right, we're just going to put him in the front, okay? Fair enough? You done fighting?
Sorry, I apologize.
I get that emotions are high. I get that it's a lot to deal with, especially since you guys have had past issues with the same person.
It's only been a month, dude. You got my number, right? Well, it doesn't matter. Just go. It's going to be a few hours, and I'll come down and get you out, okay?
All right. Thank you. Yep.
So we're at Popeyes again, and straight away, these officers walk right into some
Popeyes
unresolved
again.
chaos. Except Haley wasn't there to get a number 2, work, or to even speak logically. Because she's naming Pee-wee, Trish, and Joe from up the block, but the cops are there for you, Haley. Just you. And too often, people believe the rules just bend because they don't like the situation. And when you add emotion to it, it just gets worse. Because the officer just calmly asked for ID, but she played the usual kid games, yelling and getting defiant. And sometimes I will honestly sit in the front of my police car after having situations literally identical to this one and think, how do we get here from a simple ID request? Because her arm movement wasn't innocent, it was deliberate. And Haley didn't just fail to cooperate, she chose to challenge authority on private property. Because honestly, what's wrong with just saying, okay, officer, I'll leave? And this is definitely a lesson because the officer said it. They allowed the father to speak to Haley as a courtesy because he's legally an adult. Now she's crying for daddy. And that's the part people don't see coming. You want to act grown in public, cause a scene, ignore lawful orders, and resist arrest. But when the cuffs go on, suddenly it's call my dad. And let's not forget her dad who's ready to defend his daughter's pride in a fried chicken spot. Because that's not parenting, that's just adding fuel to the fire. And this wasn't just about a trespassing call. We got a glimpse into that family dynamic. And if arguing with cops and resisting arrest is part of her legacy, then you've already failed her as a parent.
This suspect was charged with resisting obstructing a peace.
All right, Officer John is getting more and more based with his commentary. At first, I thought it was like, you know what, he's not really adding much, but now he's getting more and more based with each commentary.
Peace officer. She is innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
Okay. All right. I gotta go cook. I'm hungry. I'm gonna be making some chicken tacos. And put more stuff in boxes, I guess. I don't know. But I appreciate you guys. I'm probably not gonna be streaming tomorrow. Again, I need to keep on packing. All right, cleaning out the clutter. And then this weekend I need to buy a shit ton more boxes. Usually like the small and medium sized. And then yeah, we'll go from there. I'll try to reach out to you, Tones. You guys have a good night, and I'll see you guys Friday. Okay, take care. Adios. Bye. Bye.